All right, guys, what's happening? Welcome back to Expand Podcast with myself, Omar Alfaro, and co-host JP, where we discuss what we got going on in our businesses, what's our challenges, because life does give you a shitload of challenges, and we got to figure out ways to, to navigate through these crazy ass waters. So let's get into it. We appreciate you guys being on and always listening, whether you're in the car, whether you're watching it on YouTube, or you're just, at your house listening to it on what we got going on. So let's get into it. Last week was a great week. The week before was awesome. I mean, we're consistently growing, and I think that we're getting a little bit better every single day. And, just in our businesses and how we relate with people. But guess what? Guess what's consistent? The challenges that you're going to face are always going to be consistent. And you just try to figure out how to navigate through all that crap. So, what's up, JP? What's going on?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I went on a appointment last week, and I was told.
Oh, we're gonna get into it right away.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like, give a context. Don't just say, "Oh, somebody told me this." Give a context.
Well, I went on a appointment in Newport Beach for a listing that can be put on the market for around $3.9 million.
Let's go.
And a week prior to me, I don't know who this guy is. I believe his name is Josh Altman. But seller just told me that he was 10 times more impressed with, my demeanor and my attitude and just my way of carrying the conversation. And that felt really good because I didn't really know who Josh Altman was until I searched him up.
And you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. The relationship was developed with the seller. I'm actually calling his daughter on Friday to have a Zoom presentation with her to go over basically the listing, the sale of the home. But yeah, work works.
Work works. Not every day you get a seller that says that he was more impressed than Josh Altman. That's pretty gangster, man. I mean, with considering the caliber of person that this Josh is, obviously, and if you guys I'm sure everyone knows who Josh Altman is, and if you don't, just Google him. Really good real estate agent. They do a lot of business. $1 million listing. He was featured on and recurring. So it's crazy. I mean, but that's pretty cool because guess what? That means the little guy can win too.
No, yeah, it was just like one of those things where, I mean, the seller clearly knew I was from Hesperia, the high desert. And
getting listings in Newport. What's up?
Yeah. So, of course, sellers go on multiple different websites and inquire. And we received this one lead through one of our platforms. And he asked me, why did that platform send you here? You're from Hesperia.
Because we got the rights to that zip code.
I didn't tell him that.
No.
Of course, just going on to, I think just having a normal conversation with the client, connecting with them, not trying to be salesy, not trying to be that sales shark that, close every single appointment guy that, people tell you to be. And it was a cool feeling. Yeah. We're just from Hesperia. Our median home price is $400,000. And at a high market, it'll probably get to $500,000. But,
yeah, that's awesome.
It's not every day we get to go on $4 million listing appointments. So I thought that was cool.
Not at all. That's a trip, man, because we're sharing victories, and this is a huge one. Even if, and I'm, because obviously you've got to play devil's advocate here. Even if you don't get the listing, even if somebody else gets it, you were still at the appointment. You still swung the bat, and just that seller saying that, that should just dude, I am good. I am that. I am connecting with sellers, and that's what that's what we discuss all the time, man. With our Monday meetings, with our Monday Zooms, our Tuesday masterclass here at the office about how to connect with people, because I think right now that we have to connect more with our clients, with our prospective leads, to be able to get deeper conversations, because this market is changed. It's changing, and I feel that, and we're going to discuss this here unless we go into depth. I feel that before the last couple years, and we said this before in other podcasts, that you could have a pulse and you could sell real estate and be super successful. And you could be average and have great results, right? The last couple years, 3-4% interest rates. Now that we're at 8.5, we're probably going to hit 9, and that's going to stall out the market. But the thing is, people are still going to buy, people are still going to sell. Now, I feel, and I think you're agreeing with me on this, that we have to be great right now, or even better than great, and we're still only going to get average results because of the way the market is. And, let's elaborate a little bit about that. Like, how do you feel about being great and getting average results versus average and getting great results because of the market before?
Well, no, I want to go into that topic, but I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we know there's a lot of changes being made in the market.
Right.
Just based off of statistics. Last year around this time, we had 1,500 houses on the market. This time we have 900 houses on the market.
Right.
Still 600 houses less than what we had. So the demand is there, but interest rates are much, much higher. People have that scarcity mindset. With you building a wholesale company, with you running a full service brokerage, with you also flipping property full time, what shifts are you making in your business as far as activity and conversations with clients and your team goes?
The first and foremost, let's talk about the regular real estate business. Is everyone that wants to sell right now has a reason. They have a deep motivation as to why. And if you're still going to get those people that are wondering what their house is worth, but I think with talking and connecting with those sellers, we're really going to understand where they're at. And those are the people that you probably want to spend most of your time with, because it's not about the numbers right now. My opinion. I don't think it's a numbers game. I think it's more of a conversation game, because we connect better. And what we're doing now, I think, with the real estate side of it is we're focusing on having better conversations, right? So we know that we're not wasting our time or theirs. On the wholesale side, we're trying the same thing, try to connect with the sellers to get deeper conversations, to get deeper discounts, because we need the deeper discount, because we won't be able to reposition that property via wholesale, via flip, or whatever exit strategy we're going to have, unless we really have we find out their burning desire as to what is painful for them in that property. And then as far as flips, well, we're going to look at all of our inventory, man, and we got to slash some prices to be able to get buyers to say, oh, let me check this house out, and be creative. I've been offering closing cost credit to all of these sellers. To all the buyers, because guess what? It's not the price point. It's the out-of-pocket expense, man.
And we're going to clip this, but dude, I really hope agents can understand, if the house is listed for $350, don't go offer $340 thinking that $10,000 on the purchase price is going to help your client.
It's not.
No, offer $350, but ask for $10,000 in closing costs.
Or 15. Or
yes,
18. Because
that $10,000 off the purchase price is probably going to make literally a $20 difference in their monthly payment. But if you get them $10,000 in hard money and savings that they can buy down their rate, put towards the closing costs, that's probably going to make a much bigger difference than a $20 payment. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
The impact's going to be better because it doesn't come out of your pocket.
And I think it goes back to just having better conversations. So that's clearly something that you're doing in the business, but I think that's something that we do 12 months out of the year. When it comes to making actual shifts within activity and operations, let's talk about that a little bit. I feel like we've been making a lot of changes within the wholesale operation that, we've started. Mm-hmm. And, with you from, feeding everything from the top down, how does that feel? Because now you're, taking money out of this operation to plug it into a more expensive operation that's going to provide, of course, a greater return. But going into these next couple of months, how does that feel?
It's, right now there's a storm, and most people like flee, and smart people will either flee depending on where you're at in your market, depending on where you're at in your finances. I've always felt the need to, when people flee, it opens up the market. It opens up the market share. And if you attack when everyone's fleeing or running away from the fire versus going into the fire, well, you'll probably be that first one when everything's settled, and you'll come out like, "Hey, I'm glad I was able to do that." So we're adjusting. We're probably spending some more money when people are not spending money, just to create the market share that we need for our wholesale or for our, our solution-based business, our 60-minute cash offer. And you'll get your offer in 60 minutes or sooner. And that's kind of what we're focusing on now. And you're right there with me, with us, in trying to figure out, like, okay, if O is spending more money on the top line while this crazy ass market's happening, you also know it puts pressure on you because you got to perform.
No, yeah, cause,
Just like we both got to perform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if we don't, the ship will sink, and we just can't, afford for that to happen. Yeah, so I mean, being hyper, it seems like it's like hyper focused towards the activity that we do, right?
Super hyper focused because I think we have to be, man.
Mm-hmm.
We can't just be like, oh, let's just do 10% here, 10% here, 10% here, 10% there, because then you're spread out too thin. And I want to talk about this part of it too. It's like, you have your business right now. We have two businesses, I think I would say, for you, right? Your regular residential real estate business, and you run a team, right? That you facilitate all of the leads that come in, and you allow and you push to who you feel has great conversations.
Correct.
Right? And that's one avenue. The other avenue is obviously the wholesale side, the 60-minute cash offer side, where we have to have great conversations to go and get discounted, properties, discounted investments. But so if we rip apart both of those avenues, like, you're 50% here, 50% there. But it's hard. Imagine if, like, you're going to put 80% in 60 MCO, 20% in retail side, something's got to give.
Yeah.
Now, add one more to the equation. Add something else to the equation. This is something that, like, I'm struggling with, is having, I'm not going to say my hands in all kinds of different businesses, but I feel that a lot of us that are in this game, in real estate, and you want to add another pillar, is like, as long as it's still real estate related, like if you're going to be a real estate agent and you're going to be a good one, then also understand that you can flip a house because it's in the same, it's on the same path.
And
it's already
wholesale
there.
Contracts.
Yeah, wholesale
Because
contracts.
the base of it is a good conversation.
100%. I'm not sitting here trying to go and sell life insurance. And is it the same path? You could say it would be, but okay, how about this? I'm not trying to go sell tools.
Well,
I'm not selling tools, right? Because I'm not. It's not the same path as real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that a lot of people are like, they shiny object syndrome here and there and everything else. Get really good at something. Get super good at one thing. And then I'd say, okay, open this up because it allows you to, because you got so good at it. Like buyer sides, perfect example. You're a good buyer's agent, right? But then what happens? You start getting more leads. You start understanding that, hey, I could give away some of these buyer sides to the team, and I can go focus more on listing side. So now you have a buyer's agent business, then you have a listing agent business, and then the listing agent business creates the ability for you to potentially buy a house, to have a deeper conversation, to potentially wholesale the house, right? And in essence, either you're going to list it or buy it. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think a
crazy.
lot of people are shooting themselves in the foot by not just allowing themselves to learn how to do something else, but also understanding that what they're currently doing has to be, well lubricated in a continuously growing operation.
Right.
So that makes a lot of sense. I posted a meme yesterday that it was like a little movie intro, And
Yeah, bro, that shit was gangster.
it was
You should take it
essentially
from me.
like, when agents talk about like how long they've been in the business, and it would like the big sign was just like, I do not give a fuck. And
It's like that movie trailer coming in. Yeah.
and I think that's in today's
Doesn't
time
matter.
that's very, very true.
Yeah.
Because I think, yeah, time does play a big factor in experience, but now there's also a lot of agents that have not had a lot of, or not agents, let's just say professionals in the business that haven't had a lot of time, but have for some reason more experience than, seasoned agents. When I'm on the phone with an agent that's been in the business for 15 years and they ask me if a wholesale deal is legal, I I think
Yeah.
about how much of a disservice you're doing to your clients that need you to wholesale their property because they need it sold in the next 31 days. And because you're too enclosed into your mindset and, you have this ego, you don't go build relationships with cash buyers to go sell them the deals because you think it's illegal. Like, what?
You know what? They're just not well-rounded. They just don't know yet, man. And
Is
you
that the
know,
baby boomer generation?
50 to 70. Yeah, 50 to 70
How
years
young
old.
how young is
50 years old is baby boomers, I believe. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
the youngest. Aren't you a baby boomer?
Fuck no. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not a baby boomer. I mean, okay, I'm 44. That's not I'm a Gen Y, Z. I don't fucking know, man. It doesn't even
Anyways,
matter.
all I'm saying is like, there's a lot of people that
You're
have.
millennial?
No, I'm actually Gen Z.
Okay, so you're Gen Z. Millennials, I'm not in the millennial stage. So I'm after millennial.
And
Before millennial, right? Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah.
you got to continuously. I think it's clear in this business, you can still see people that are doing business that existed 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Meaning, they haven't grown at all. And what's cool is you say it all the time. 20 years ago, you didn't have mentors, masterminds, Zoom
Social.
calls, social media. I mean, I think we have like 4 Zoom calls a week in like different groups that we're a part of.
It's connected.
And that I
the
think
world.
that is so cool because it's constantly allowing us to see,
What's possible?
what's possible, who's doing what we're not doing right, what we could be doing different. So that aspect is cool because we're always growing.
Yeah, man. It's there's, So just in wrapping up, I think that if you're in this business and you're wanting to learn how to be more well-rounded and have more tools on your tool belt that you bring to the to the appointment, like get in different rooms, follow the people that actually do it, ask the questions, message JP, message myself, like this podcast, ask questions in the podcast, share it with your people, because you'll learn something, and get good at something. If it's real estate side of it, if it's wholesaling, I mean, because all of it will pay you, and it'll open up other doors for you to have more opportunities, and then you'll be able to buy some real estate and create some some cash flow and appreciation, and who knows what you're going to end up doing if you really just give it your all, and study what you're doing a little bit. I mean, that's, I guess, in closing, based on our conversation today.
Yep.
I mean, we didn't really talk about the market and stuff, but that's okay. That could be for for another one.
Yeah, just be a student of the game. I mean, the market's going to do what the market's going to do, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think talking about the market is good because it brings awareness, but just go work more, do more activity, surround yourself with the right people, and I think you'll be just fine.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you guys joining in. Make sure you click that subscribe button, like our podcast, share it, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yep, take care. Comb your hair.
Peace.